As Sarah tearfully prepared to say goodbye to her beloved dog Luna, she was taken aback when he unexpectedly wrapped his furry paws around her waist for one last lingering hug. The vet, witnessing this emotional farewell, hesitated before administering the final injection. A moment later, the vet uttered words that sent shockwaves through the room, leaving Sarah in stunned disbelief. Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. Sarah's dog Luna had been her best friend for the past 6 years. He'd been with her through thick and thin, the good and the bad times. She'd gotten him as a birthday present when she turned 15. Luna had been a scrawny little puppy back then, and Sarah was a pasty teenager just entering puberty. It had been love at first sight. Now, Sarah was driving her companion to the vet. It'd be the dog's last car ride, so Sarah had put on some music and rolled down the window so Luna could feel the wind through his fur. The entire drive, Sarah kept looking at her pet, not knowing how she'd go on and live without him. Sarah decided to make a pit stop at a local drive-thru, both to delay the inevitable goodbye she'd have to make today and to allow Luna a final guilty pleasure. The dog's ears perked up at the familiar sight, and his tail started wagging softly. Sarah ordered Luna a big puppuccino, which was essentially just a cup of whipped cream. But Luna absolutely loved it, so Sarah would indulge him on his last day. After Luna had finished the final drop of whipped cream, Sarah knew she could not postpone it any longer. Fighting tears, she turned the car back onto the road and set off towards the veterinarian. Luna, sensing her distress as he always did, let out a little sigh and rested his head on her thigh. When Sarah reached the vet's clinic, she steeled herself by taking several deep breaths before getting out of the car. Luna went with her easily, as if he knew what was coming. The vet's assistant hurried them through with a sad smile, leading them to the examination room where the veterinarian was waiting. The vet sat them down together first, granting them a moment to calm down and walk Sarah through the process before they began. "I'm sorry," the doctor says, gazing at Luna with a somber expression. "We really thought that maybe other vets would have a solution, but nobody has a solution to Luna's condition." That's why Sarah had been given an additional week with Luna. The vet had never seen his condition on a dog this young before, and she'd asked around her network of veterinarians to see if anyone else held an answer or a possible cure for Luna's condition. Sadly, there'd only been a few replies, and none of the other vets had any idea. There were also a couple of vets who hadn't responded at all, which is why Sarah and Luna were currently in the vet's office, getting ready to say goodbye. Sarah didn't want her beloved pet to suffer, so she opted for Luna to be put down to avoid any unnecessary pain or discomfort. The vet explained to Sarah how the process would go and what she could expect, and had her sign some documents. After a short conversation, Sarah and Luna followed the vet into the treatment room. The vet had Luna lay down on a soft cushion, ensuring maximum comfort. Sarah sat down and pulled Luna onto her lap, softly petting her. She whispered her heartfelt goodbye to her best friend and kissed her furry head. To the surprise of both Sarah and the vet, Luna moved to wrap her paws around Sarah, giving her a final, lingering hug. The vet, who'd just prepared the injection, visibly hesitated to administer it as she watched the two in their embrace. She bent down, getting ready to put Luna down, when she suddenly shook her head. "We're making a mistake," she said. The vet held the syringe, her hand shaking slightly. "We might be making a mistake," she said, her voice firm yet filled with doubt. She looked from Luna to Sarah, the weight of her decision clear in her eyes. Instead of proceeding, she placed the syringe back on the tray. The room was heavy with tension, everyone frozen in place, unsure of what would come next. Sarah's eyes widened in shock, confusion spreading across her face. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The vet's sudden hesitation was unexpected, leaving Sarah grappling with a whirlwind of emotions. Luna, still embracing Sarah, seemed oblivious to the turmoil around him, his tail wagging gently, unaware of the gravity of the situation unfolding. The room's tense silence was shattered by the vet's assistant, who burst in, gasping for air. "Stop!" she exclaimed, holding a piece of paper in her hand. She was breathless from running, her eyes wide with urgency. The sudden interruption caught everyone by surprise, their attention now fixated on the assistant, waiting for her to catch her breath and explain her abrupt entrance. The assistant finally spoke, revealing that a late reply from a consulted vet had just arrived. She handed the paper to the vet, who quickly scanned its contents. A mix of anticipation and hope filled the room as the vet's expression changed. "This might be what we were waiting for," she said, turning to Sarah. The mood shifted from despair to cautious optimism, everyone eager to learn more. Gathering around a laptop, Sarah, the vet, and the assistant opened Dr. Mark McGinnon's email. The vet read aloud, detailing a potential diagnosis that differed from their fears. Hope flickered in Sarah's eyes as she listened, Luna still nestled in her lap. The possibility of a different path for Luna, one that didn't end today, seemed within reach. "We need to do some tests," the vet concluded, looking at Sarah and Luna. Dr. McGinnon's email detailed a potential diagnosis for Luna, offering a glimmer of hope. The vet explained, "He's in Scotland, but he's the best for this condition." Sarah's heart leaped at the possibility, yet the reality of their location dawned on her. Scotland was not just a drive away, it was across the ocean. Yet, the chance to save Luna made every obstacle seem surmountable. The vet saw Sarah's determination. The catch is, Dr. McGinnon's clinic is miles away in Scotland. Sarah's mind raced, calculating the distance, the cost, and the time. The hurdles were many, but Luna's life was on the line. The idea of travelling so far was daunting, yet Sarah's resolve only hardened. "If there's a chance, we have to take it," she said, more to herself than anyone else. Luna, sensing the shift in the room, let out a soft bark and nudged Sarah's hand. It was as if he was saying, "Let's go for it." Sarah looked down at Luna, her decision cemented by his gentle encouragement. She turned to the vet. "Can Luna make the journey comfortably?" The vet nodded, promising pain management and all necessary preparations for Luna's well-being during the travel. A series of tests followed, ensuring Luna was fit for travel. The vet prescribed medication to manage his condition during the flight. "He's strong enough for the journey," the vet assured Sarah, handing over a detailed care plan. Sarah felt a mix of nervousness and excitement as she collected Luna's medication, her mind already leaping towards the next steps of their unexpected journey. As they prepared to leave, the vet and her assistant gave Luna and Sarah emotional hugs. "We're rooting for you," the vet said, her eyes glistening with hope. The assistant squeezed Sarah's hand, adding, "Safe travels." The warmth and support from the vet's office enveloped Sarah, bolstering her courage as she stepped outside with Luna, ready to embark on an adventure that held the promise of a new beginning. Back inside, Sarah and the vet crafted an email to Dr. McGinnon. They explained Luna's situation and their willingness to travel for his expertise. Hitting send, they marked the start of an urgent journey. The vet reassured Sarah, "He's quick to respond." Sarah felt a mix of anxiety and hope, knowing they were taking the first step towards saving Luna. The vet and her assistant then gathered around Luna, offering cuddles and encouraging words. "You're going on a big adventure, buddy," the assistant said, scratching Luna behind the ears. Their kindness and well wishes bolstered Sarah's resolve. She felt a surge of strength, knowing she had the support of everyone in the room as she embarked on this daunting quest. Before leaving, the vet and assistant loaded Sarah up with medical supplies for Luna and detailed contact information for Dr. McGinnon. "You've got this, Sarah," the vet said, handing over a carefully prepared packet of Luna's medical history. Sarah felt a profound sense of gratitude and responsibility. She was about to embark on a quest for a miracle, and Scotland awaited them with open arms. In the car, Sarah looked at Luna, who was calmly sitting beside her. "We're going to do everything we can," she promised, her voice steady. Luna responded with a gentle nuzzle, his way of acknowledging Sarah's promise. This moment of reflection between them solidified Sarah's determination. She started the car, ready for whatever lay ahead on their journey to Scotland. Driving home, Sarah made important calls, first to her mom, explaining the situation and her plans to travel to Scotland. "I'm behind you," her mom said, offering her full support. Next, she called Kelly, her best friend, who immediately offered to help in any way. Sarah felt a network of support forming around her, making the daunting journey ahead seem a little less lonely. Kelly showed up at Sarah's door, bags in hand, ready to join the journey. "I'm coming with you," she declared, her presence alone lifting Sarah's spirits. Sarah, overwhelmed by gratitude, felt tears mix with hope. Kelly's readiness to help turned into Operation Find Luna's Cure, marking the start of a united front against Luna's illness. Together, they felt invincible. When Kelly greeted Luna, his response was quieter than usual, but his tail wagged gently. This subdued greeting underscored the urgency of their mission, yet brought a fleeting moment of joy. Kelly's arrival brought a fresh wave of energy into the house. Luna seemed to understand that Kelly's presence meant more help, his soft eyes watching them prepare. Together, Sarah and Kelly tackled the task of packing. They moved around each other in a silent dance, each action reflecting their shared determination. The living room was strewn with essentials for their trip, and every choice was made with Luna in mind. This became more than just packing. It was a moment of bonding, their love for Luna guiding them through the emotional chaos. Luna watched them, his presence a quiet but powerful reminder of what was at stake. His calm gaze seemed to urge them on, giving them strength. With each item packed, Sarah and Kelly moved from planning to action, their preparations now complete. They were ready to embark on this journey together, their resolve solidified by Luna's silent encouragement. The night before their departure was a mix of worry and comfort. The bond between Sarah, Kelly, and Luna deepened as they shared the goal of saving Luna. Sarah tossed and turned, troubled by worrying dreams of what lay ahead. Despite her restless night, the thought of their shared mission brought a sense of purpose, driving her forward amidst the uncertainty. The morning revealed the true weight of their journey. Sarah and Kelly moved through their routines automatically, sharing quick breakfasts and performing final checks. Their actions were swift, yet laden with the gravity of the day ahead. Despite the exhaustion that shadowed their faces, the determination in their steps was unmistakable. Today marked the beginning of a pivotal chapter in their quest to save Luna. They took Luna for a brief, quiet walk, a moment of calm before the storm. Then, they started their drive to the airport, the car filled with a heavy silence. Luna, sensing the tension, curled up and slept on the back seat. Finding a parking spot at the airport took longer than expected, adding a layer of stress to their already tense journey. At the airport, Sarah and Kelly navigated through security checks and faced the inevitable waiting times. Each step felt like a test of patience, a minor yet significant battle in the larger war they were waging for Luna's life. The hustle and bustle of the airport blurred around them, their focus solely on the mission at hand. As they waited for their flight, silent contemplation took over. Holding their flight tickets, they realized the gravity of the step they were about to take. Boarding the airplane with Luna, the weight of his worsening condition hung heavily in the air. This flight symbolized a leap of faith towards hope, a tangible stride towards the unknown in their quest for Luna's cure. The flight stretched on, marked by Sarah's sleepless concern and fleeting dreams that mirrored her fears and hopes. Luna, in contrast, slept peacefully throughout the flight, unaware of the anxiety surrounding him. Sarah watched over him, her thoughts a whirlwind of worry and determination, every turbulent moment bringing them closer to their destination and the hope of saving Luna. Landing in Scotland, Sarah and Kelly quickly rented a car, their minds set on reaching Dr. McGinnon's clinic. Adjusting to driving on the left side was a challenge, but their determination pushed them through the initial awkwardness. The unfamiliar roads became less daunting as they focused on their purpose, navigating with a mix of apprehension and urgency towards their destination. The drive was filled with stories of Luna, each memory shared between Sarah and Kelly, a mix of laughter and tears. They recalled Luna's quirkiest moments, from the time he chased his tail for hours to his gentle snoring that filled quiet evenings. These stories, both happy and funny, served as a bittersweet reminder of the very reason they found themselves so far from home. As they approached Edinburgh, the breathtaking landscape offered a brief escape from their concerns. They stopped just outside the city, attempting to distract themselves with food and a moment's rest. They tried to engage Luna in play, hoping for a spark of his usual energy, but he was too tired, only managing to wag his tail slightly before settling back down. The clinic's serene setting, nestled among lush nature and a calm lake, struck a sharp contrast to Sarah's inner turmoil. They took Luna for a short walk in the peaceful surroundings, but it wasn't long before Kelly had to pick him up, carrying him back. The tranquility of the environment was a stark reminder of the gravity of their visit. Dr. Mark McGinnon greeted them warmly, his demeanour calm yet alert to the urgency of their visit. His expertise and confidence were evident as they discussed Luna's condition and medication. This meeting, filled with technical details and compassionate understanding, marked a pivotal moment in their journey, offering a beacon of hope in the midst of uncertainty. In the examination room, Mark shared his suspicions, casting doubt on previous diagnoses and proposing additional tests for Luna. His confidence and thorough approach brought a new perspective to the table, challenging what Sarah and Kelly had accepted as the inevitable. Mark's plan for extra tests offered a glimmer of hope, suggesting that Luna's condition might not be as dire as they feared. The promise of new tests kindled a fragile hope in Sarah and Kelly. Watching Luna undergo examination under Mark's skilled hands was a heart-wrenching yet hopeful experience. The procedure was lengthy, a testament to Mark's dedication and thoroughness. Sarah and Kelly clung to the possibility of a different future for Luna, one where he could lead a healthier life. After the examination, Mark explained the necessity of proceeding with the tests. Sarah, though anxious, didn't hesitate to agree. The possibility of finding an alternative diagnosis, a chance to change Luna's fate, outweighed any apprehension. Her quick agreement was a testament to her unwavering commitment to Luna's well-being, ready to embrace any sliver of hope Mark could offer. The wait for the test results stretched their patience thin, with the outcomes hanging precariously in the balance. Mark's hospitality, offering them tea and cookies, served as a much-needed distraction. This gesture of kindness provided a brief respite from their worries, allowing them a moment of normalcy amidst the tumultuous journey they had embarked upon. Over tea, Sarah and Kelly shared their journey to Scotland, while Mark spoke fondly of his clinic and the path that led him to become a vet. This exchange of stories created a bond, making the waiting time more bearable. Their conversation meandered from personal anecdotes to professional insights, offering a glimpse into the passion that drove Mark's veterinary practice. Mark revealed the final test would take time to yield results. Seeing Sarah and Kelly's exhaustion from their travels, he kindly offered them to stay the night. This gesture of hospitality was a much-needed relief, providing them with the opportunity to rest and regroup. Accepting Mark's offer felt like a small beacon of hope in their extended journey to find answers for Luna. Grateful for Mark's offer, Sarah and Kelly retrieved their suitcases from the car and settled into a cozy staff room equipped with bunk beds. Mark, thinking of everything, brought a comfortable dog bed for Luna, ensuring he too had a place to rest. The invitation to join him for dinner later was a warm extension of his hospitality, making them feel even more welcome. Mark lived close to the clinic, allowing Sarah, Kelly and Luna to join him for a tranquil walk through the forest. As they walked, they shared their mutual love for nature and animals, their conversation flowing easily. This serene stroll offered a momentary escape from their worries, connecting them to the calming presence of the natural world around them. At dinner, Mark introduced Sarah and Kelly to his wife, expanding the circle of warmth and hospitality. Luna found a new friend in Mark's dog Max, and the two dogs played together, adding joy to the evening. The meal, prepared by Mark, was a further testament to their host's generosity, making them feel like part of the family. After dinner, Mark reassured Sarah that the test results would be available the next morning, promising a potential resolution to their anxious wait. This assurance offered Sarah a glimmer of hope, the prospect of finally understanding Luna's condition. With Mark's suspicions soon to be confirmed or dispelled, they ended the night with a renewed sense of anticipation for the answers that lay ahead. Sarah and Kelly, each carrying a part of Luna's weight, made their way back to the clinic for the night. After an evening of playing with Max, Luna was too exhausted to walk. The quiet of the clinic at night wrapped around them like a blanket, a stark contrast to the emotional turmoil they felt inside, carrying their beloved dog back to their temporary haven. Once inside, they carefully tucked Luna into his dog bed, making sure he was as comfortable and warm as possible. The room was filled with a heavy silence as Sarah and Kelly prepared for bed, their movements slow and thoughtful. Before Sarah climbed into the top bunk, Kelly stopped her with a gentle hug, a silent promise of support and understanding between them. Kelly's hug broke the dam of Sarah's fears, leading her to express her dread of getting her hopes up, only to face the possibility of losing Luna. Kelly listened and reassured Sarah, promising her belief in Dr. Mark's abilities. Their conversation, a blend of fear and hope, stretched into the night until Sarah's tears were replaced with a calmer resolve. Eventually, both climbed into their respective beds, but sleep eluded Sarah. She lay awake, her mind racing with thoughts of Luna's illness and the uncertainty of his future. The darkness of the room seemed to echo her fears, making each minute stretch longer as she struggled against the tide of her own worries, desperately hoping for a future where Luna was healthy again. After a night filled with restless tossing and turning, Sarah woke up to find herself exhausted, the lack of rest weighing heavily on her. Kelly was still asleep, but Luna was awake, his eyes meeting Sarah's as if he sensed her unrest. The morning light brought a new day, but with it, a heavy sense of anticipation for the test results that lay ahead. Sarah, seeking a moment of peace, took Luna for a gentle walk to the nearby lake. The tranquil water offered a serene backdrop, but Luna quickly grew tired. Settling on a bench, Sarah wrapped her arms around Luna, sharing a quiet moment of closeness. The calm of the lake and the warmth of her dog offered a brief respite from the anxieties of their situation. Mark found them by the lake, greeting them with a cheerful, "Good morning." He joined Sarah on the bench, sharing in the peaceful morning ambience. Their calm was briefly interrupted by the sound of a timer from Mark's phone, signaling that the test results were ready. With a sense of urgency masked by calm, they began their walk back to the clinic, the future of Luna hanging in the balance. Upon returning, they found Kelly awake, ready to join them in facing whatever news awaited. Together, they entered the examination room, settling around Luna with gentle pets and whispers of encouragement. Mark prepared the final test, inserting the tube into a machine and setting the process in motion. The clinical routine of the action contrasted sharply with the emotional weight of the moment. The machine hummed and beeped, a soundtrack to their anxious wait. Mark took the opportunity to explain the process, his voice steady and reassuring amidst the mechanical noises. He then turned to make some coffee, offering a small comfort as they awaited the results. The simple act of sharing coffee in this moment of suspense knit them closer in their shared hope for Luna. The machine's beeping ceased, marking the end of their wait. Mark placed the freshly brewed coffee before Sarah and Kelly, then moved to retrieve the printed results. The paper, adorned with numbers and words, held the answers to their questions, the key to Luna's future. As Mark read over the results, the room was thick with anticipation, every eye fixed on him, waiting for the verdict. The room was engulfed in a tense silence, all eyes on Mark as he meticulously read the test results. Sarah held her breath, her anxiety palpable. Time seemed to stretch endlessly, the wait feeling longer than it actually was. Each second that passed without a word from Mark added to the weight of anticipation, the silence a heavy blanket over them all. Gradually, a smile began to form on Mark's face, breaking the tension like a ray of sunlight through clouds. Sarah leaned forward, a mix of impatience and hope flickering within her. Mark's smile, slow but genuine, signaled a shift in the atmosphere, turning the room from a space filled with fear to one brimming with potential joy and relief. "Luna has a different illness," Mark announced, his voice calm but filled with good news. "It's easily treatable, but sometimes it shows up as something else in younger animals." The revelation was a dramatic twist, offering a path away from despair. This misdiagnosis had brought them to the brink of losing hope, only to find themselves now facing a future where Luna could be treated and thrive. Relief washed over Sarah, her emotions overflowing into tears of happiness. She rose to hug Mark, gratitude pouring from her in waves. Then, turning to Luna, she wrapped her arms around her faithful companion, her actions speaking volumes of the love and relief she felt. The clinic, once a place of impending sadness, transformed into a space of celebration and thanks. With the promise of an easy treatment and a long, healthy future ahead, Luna's journey from the brink of farewell to a new beginning was complete. Sarah, Kelly and Luna left the clinic with light hearts, ready to embark on the next chapter of their lives together. This turn of events closed a chapter of fear and opened one filled with hope and joyful anticipation.